Back with another update on our building site. So the guys have poured the concrete foundation and now they're building up with the cinder blocks. So building up the foundation with the cinder blocks to the ground level. Remember, my home, or our home should I say, is on a incline. So even though the contractor or the builders, they leveled off the land, there's still parts of it that's on an incline. If you can see right now, that back wall with that looks like full dirt, that is going to be the back wall for the downstairs apartment. So there'll be no windows, no doors in there, and so it's going to act as, part retaining wall, part back wall for the downstairs apartment, which is great because we need a retaining wall so that we don't get into any problems if there's just too much rain or too, like a landslide or anything of sorts. Yep, so here they are just building up the ground floor. They're putting all the rebar. The rebar's already in there, and what they're gonna do is also pour concrete in there. I think I may have mentioned that the last time around, and it's pretty cool. So on this clip, you can see that other than the lovely view, you can actually see they've built up the walls. And so what we've done to compensate for no windows in the back, we're gonna have a plethora, just a ton of windows and doors in the sides and the front of the home, which is going to seem like a lot because it's a smaller space than upstairs, and it probably has maybe a similar amount of windows, but it's necessary. So we have really big windows here in the front, and you'll see there's not a ton of space between the windows, but I think it's so necessary just to make the space not feel dark because they're not going to be getting light from the back of the house during the day. So yeah, that's the compromise, but I'm still very happy about the fact that we decided to build up the walls of this downstairs apartment. We initially weren't going to, we were just going to have the stills and just build up the upstairs and be done with it, but we just figured we need a basement space, we need somewhere to store stuff, and to be honest, eventually we're going to want the additional space, maybe for a business. My husband and I have a lot of entrepreneurial ventures that we'd like to try, so having extra space is always helpful. We're not going to completely finish the spaces yet, we're going to do that as we go, but having done this, we've kind of done one of the more difficult and expensive parts, I think. So it's not going to be too bad, so we'll be able to do that. But yeah, here is the update. It's going well so far, and tune in for the next one.